Alrighty, so what's up? What's up, people? What's up, folks? What is a note? No. Sticky note. Alright, people, let me get separated my fucking don't forget to get my sticky notes. I should all forget. Alright, people, what's up? So, let's get to it. Let's start off. See where we are with the S&P 500 monthly wise. So for one, we closed a month, huh? I haven't even marked that out. Sorry for all the mess, people. December, January, yeah. So this turns into purple. And then now we go to the bottom right here. These boxes are gonna be moved. Alright, so we closed. The month over here. Alright, so we closed the month here. The reason why I moved the box and I changed the outline to purple. That way, you know, there's a monthly area, and also breaking this right here, this monthly, which is the monthly of October, it's gonna be a hard resistance to break or support to break on down. Also, the fact that we closed here in December, the same thing. So if the market ever does come down to these regions, this is gonna be a sweet spot again to catch a good sell. Another thing is, if you watch the data that we got set up for this week, so this is pretty much a summary of what happened in the market. Let me split these up. Let me try to split these up. It's gonna be over there. Okay. So I'm gonna close. Move this one over here. Move this one over here. Alright, cool, that works. Alright, so Yeah, so this was this week, this last week playout, and I'm gonna go to the month, to the daily, so you can see how the S&P ended up breaking it down. You can see the whole big picture. So think about it, guys. You had, let's go to the weekly. You had this last week, not this last week, oh yeah, this last week break with the new all-time high, and we closed at new all-time high. So either in a way Trump can say that he did ended up closing the S&P 500 at a new all-time high, and the market's great, everything's great. Even he said if he would have to give himself a grade, he would give himself a A plus for the economy. It'll be an A plus 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 plus. It will rate the economy. And if you see it, if you look at the S&P 500, you're like, damn, our economy is doing good. It's looking good money wise. We're looking good. But we close good. But now this week you have this pullback. So these pullbacks, especially for this week, that's lining up. This week only has 10 days. And this day coming up tomorrow, it's really not at that point. 18 point. So look right here. What's coming next? So let me play out how we met Monday. On Monday, what happened? This gave a glimpse into the house activity, but didn't really move a needle. The market were mostly stable, which is true. We go to the daily, and we go to Monday, right here. You see that even though it wasn't stable to me, because we did end up pulling back just a little bit. Let me go on, watch it to the forward candle. So here's Friday, right? But this pull down here, that was a warning to me, especially how it held here. Think about it. On Monday, nothing really happened, right? But since the Fed was going to release, and you read right here on Tuesday, I said what happened on Tuesday. The Fed minutes was a big deal here. They set the tone that the Fed is closely watching labor data and inflation pressure. That gave everybody the key sentiment to look at labor. Look, that told investors, that told everybody, aka investors, that the key sentiment to what to look out for was labor numbers midweek. Alright, and he talked on at 12 o'clock, or he didn't talk. The paperwork was released at 12 o'clock, I believe so. So if the market was really looking out for this, because this report, because it was a big deal from the Fed, the man, the money man. If it was good news, if the market breaks out as 1, 2, 3 opportunities to make a move. 2 of them, so right here it's Monday morning, so Sunday night we start falling into Monday morning. Monday morning we maintain, but we should have shut up by 8. Let me go to the 1 hour candle now. Right here, all these are 1 hour candles, and you can see the date down here, Monday 29th December 2025. So right here at your, where you at? So right here at your 8, 9 in the morning, we should have blasted off to be more confident, because we close every 4 hours are important where we close. So the market, that's another thing about the market, that it's broken down. That's why I think, even though I'm not the fucking guy with numbers, math, fractions, all that shit, there's something about the market because it's all about numbers. Everything has to do with numbers. From the candles to where they close to what time they need to move. There's certain there's a time in the market. It's nothing wild. It's just moving. Like, if you actually see it, there's actual math movements happening with this, especially when you just so coincidentally what got me making these lines or whatnot and marking these supports was that I would see the 50 Fibonacci. I would start using it a lot automatically, and I noticed how these boxes would appear perfectly every certain um, areas, especially the more I went on the higher candles, and I see how they would stop at certain key areas along the way, right there, down here, and then the more movement that went down to the taller candle, I would see them more, if not in here along the way. Again, that area right here, right here, right here, and then we'll go along. And I keep seeing them along the way, hitting certain areas, certain prices. And then I started doing my own. Hey, let me start marking every monthly. Let me start marking every weekly. Let me start. And you know what? Let me then start breaking it down into different sections. Let me start breaking it down to little, because it makes sense as the market breaks through a floor. Look at it as like a building. The stronger, the higher the time frame is of the candle, the stronger the floor is, the more secure that floor ceiling is to pass through. So anyways, back to the market. So with the fact that on here we have Tuesday, we should have gone happy because we're about to get released data tomorrow. So we didn't, right? Your next area is gonna be your 11, around your 7 to 11. Then it'll be till 8:45 to 9:30. If we don't break them out, that means we're gonna start breaking that down. But then once you come to your either 12:45 to 1:30, we close at 2 for the market. So in reality, it's 11, 11:45 to 12:30. If not, that means the market is really scared and we're gonna start pushing them down. So here we come to 11, and that's when we close the forward candle. So notice how at 10 it seems like we're gonna go down. It's a fake out, and here comes buyers, bring it up, and they close it up again. And they close it up again above it. So we come 11. So anyway, so your next try was going to be at nighttime because the market closed at 2 o'clock. So again, your 7:45, no, your 8:45 to 9:30 would be your next breakout. Again, no movement. You then wait again to nighttime later on to your 11:45, 12:30. Again, nothing, no movement. So again in the morning, then come into the morning at 6:30 or 7 as the market opens, nothing. So then again, look how neutral and scared. That told me how scared the market was. As we get closer in releasing the data, notice how the market doesn't react positive. Why? Because pretty much the data we said was, hey, we still are stand where we left off last time when Powell talked about it December 10th, and he said how we don't really think we're gonna cut interest rates. We're gonna cut interest rates next year if the data labor market gives us that hint, that clue, then we will. Otherwise, we don't see ourselves making any interest rate cuts. Based on that, the market, then I could tell that we're gonna start going down, because after that, by 7 or 8 o'clock, we should start pushing on up in the morning, at nighttime, or in the morning or whatnot. The fact that we didn't, the fact that we just kept going down, I was like, yeah. So again, the Fed just talked, and then we had data on Wednesday, I believe. Let me check. Wednesday, what happened on Wednesday? This morning, jobless claims gave a real-time check on labor after the Fed minutes. So again, the Fed paid attention to the labor market. So after they released that paperwork on Tuesday, they knew that, hey, Wednesdays are the last hope. So if this is what they want to hear, so we can get a rate cut, we're gonna go up. Otherwise, we're gonna start sinking. This was the first big test. There you go. Of whether the labor looks weaker or stable. That's where we left off midweek. So as of right now, we got the Fed minutes behind us. We got the jobless claims on Wednesday, and the market is digesting all the headlines into the end of the week. Basically, we're seeing if the labor data aligns with what the Fed hinted at the end so far, being pretty much in line. That everything's, nothing's wrong, whatever. So, and then that's when you came with the market. I think the data came out at 6:30 on number 7. And look at this day right here, right? So you come Wednesday, the market opens at 6:30, but the data comes out at 6:30 or 6, I believe. So here's 6:30 comes, bad fucking news. The market opens at 7:30, and then the market just falls after that. Now, think about it. If the market fell over the fucking Wednesday, over the New Year, because we had that week market there. The reason why it's going up and setting up right here is because Friday we also have some data, but it's not that data. So, where I'm going with this, the S&P, and you have a 50 Fibonacci and the 1 hour candle here. I'm pretty sure you have 4 candle up here. That's where you have a rejection with this. So we're gonna have that data. It's not gonna read that much of corn or crazy. We're gonna end up fake pushing up here, or just stay in this area here, or let me see. Damn, I need bullish already. So yeah, this is okay. So this is the last big resistance. This is after the government opened, and we have a weekly right here and a monthly, 2 months right here. Cushion. Okay, so we have tomorrow's data coming out. Watch, let me show you. What's coming next? Friday. This will wrap up this week data. If it's stable, the market will likely remain calm. Yep. If surprised, we may see someone. Yes. So, since we're right here, and you see this 1 hour candle, this indicator line tells me where there's a resistance or support. Pretty much, as long as we're stay inside of this cushion, we keep on rallying. The moment we start breaking it, it turns red, and it tells you where's the resistance at, where's this invisible shield, let's say, that it needs to penetrate to really be above it and create support above it and turn green again. So the fact that we came here and went down below it, that was one warning right there, and here was your second one, and so on. The fact that right here and tomorrow's data comes out at what time? Let's see. Comes out at 7:45. 7:45. The market opens at 6:30. No, open at 7:30. So what it's gonna do is, like I said, it's gonna just either poke it here and then just close in this area here. Because you have a strong weekly. Watch. You have a strong weekly right here. That's why I have it with these marked dot lines. And you have a monthly also down here. So now, this area right here is important, these two right here. Because this creates a support as it comes down, and it'll stop here. But that's not gonna happen this week. I see it closing. So you have this area right here, this area is a weekly, and your all-time high right here. So this is what you want to maintain for the day right here to hold. And we are right here. We start right here. Alright. So this day, we're gonna have a perfect, hopefully a nice. We're gonna open on Monday, and Monday's gonna have. Friday next week. And the big news that's gonna move the market next week is the ninth. Why? Because it's labor market employment situation report. This matters because it's the big labor data that the Fed minutes highlight. This report that we just got on Tuesday is the first full house survey in a while, and it's going to fill a lot of blanks. This will set the tone for the next couple of weeks. Sheesh. We started Monday with house data, Tuesday with Fed minutes. It's the expectation that labor data is crucial. Wednesday, job vacancy was the first real check on that. Now we're watching Friday, PMI 2 this week. Next week, January 9th, is a big living report that ties back to the Fed said this fucking Tuesday for the Fed FOMC. And what I'm trying to see is Monday. What do we have fucking Monday? Oh, so pretty much gonna be Wednesday. Looking ahead next week, important dates, January 7th and January 9th. Morning, big picture summary, putting all together. I want to see what we have for Monday next week. Monday. Okay, so we do have data. Comes out at 8 o'clock. Okay. So this is what I see the market doing. The S&P doing. Stays there. So, cause right here, this right here is my swag. Oh yeah, we also close a 3 monthly, huh? So this actually turns into a 3 month. No, it turns into a 12 monthly. Yeah, it's a 12 monthly. So this is a strong motherfucking resistance to come back to this area. 12 monthly and turn into a dotted line. That's true. I forgot about that. So a bunch of them. Let's take that shit out. So this area is very strong. What's gonna happen is this day, and we have a daily. We have a 3 candle box here forming. The first one gave you your support, and it gave you a good fucking area. It's a weekly area. And let me see if it's before the Fed open. No, it's after the Fed open. So breaking this, and it makes sense here because my daily, my indicator is telling you, yo, if we break this cushion, we're gonna start falling on down this red flag. It makes sense because it's also where the government announced that they opened on the weekend, and it created a strong area. So it makes sense that the indicator showed me right there. So we have a head and shoulders right. We have a 3 candle box. We're gonna be forming one right here. We had Wednesday giving us the support. Friday is giving us the resistance. And since we're expecting this data tomorrow, and this is gonna be the big data, a lot of these investors aren't gonna really fucking panic and sell right now. That'd be stupid as fuck. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna make the market consolidate, and you're gonna see gold also consolidate. You're gonna see the markets consolidate because they're waiting for that this big data coming up for this week. So this means that tomorrow we're most likely gonna close green strong right here. If anything, maybe push through this shade and close it, but we're gonna close in green. Then here's gonna come Monday, and depending what happens on the fucking weekend, if this fuckface keeps shooting, bombing, all that shit, it's gonna fucking make the market open a little bit low. We're worried because of that. Maybe, but not fucking crazy. But that's also something to pay attention. And also what shit happens over the weekend that could make the S&P open a little bit lower after closing high, quote unquote. Because it also makes sense because after a drop, there's always 60 to 70% chance of a 50% recovery, and after that, it stumbles and it goes back down, or front that pattern or whatnot. So this is normal for the market to really shit down because the market is now happy and is looking forward. Even you're gonna see that shit. Futures open higher as blah 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 blah. Sucking dick. So it makes sense for the market. I should have fucking gotten an option call and thought about that shit too, but it's not smart because as the market opens, then nothing really happens. Well, it would be smart because you're buying at the low at Friday. And then you had this Friday because now you're knowing everybody's eyeing this data, so they're not gonna fucking panic and sell the shit. That'd be stupid. So you would start selling towards the middle of your Wednesday, because that's your 7th, so that makes sense. That's when you will start panicking selling based on how that came out. And then we see a nice little drop down and whatnot, but nothing stupid again because you're still waiting for Friday, and Friday could be your continue with this bullishness trend. But we're gonna form a 3 candle box. Hopefully, because this is gonna be Friday, or this is Friday, or this is technically today, but close up on it's gonna close tomorrow, Friday, at 3 p.m. So tomorrow, if we close it on here, Monday, if we get some sort of bad data, that'll be clean. That way it'll close right here, complete a 3 candle box, and then Tuesday, it'll be bullshitting, and either Wednesday data will give it that fear because it's not what they wanted to hear. The Fed, again, they care what the Fed cares about. So if that data wasn't good news for them because of how the Fed was going to react, then you're going to see the 3 candle box complete. So it'll be hanging here. Because again, this is also where the market opens. So again, this is a crucial resistance zone. Think of it like a big fucking zone right here. Big fucking rectangle right here. Just as a support. And that's what's going to be hard to pass. And Tuesday we're going to close down here. Or Monday down, Tuesday down here. And then Wednesday is either going to save us. And then with Thursday and Friday do this shit, or we're gonna stay stuck here and complete this, reject this halfway wick, come back down and close somewhere here for the week, and then you'll see all these other stocks because they're forming head and shoulders. If you look at here, your head and shoulders. Now that's clean. We have on your shoulder, your head, shoulder, foundation, shoulder, head, shoulder. We failed to do this and continue with this week. We have a team going on down. It's not as clean, but let's see if you want to take the video. I want to, yeah. Shoulder, head, shoulder. We either continue with it or reject, start in the zone right here, to start coming bounce back up, bullshit, go up, but completed and start going on down, completed shorter, shorter. It's not as clean. Nothing here. And shoulder, head, shoulder too. We're gonna make it. We're gonna freaking just quick go down to present here, and we have a trend line right here. Pretty sure. Yeah, and we're breaking it right now. It's a daily. Daily trend line goes off right here, so it makes sense too. Google. So yeah, see the same with Bitcoin. Either this week coming up, it's either gonna save us. You can see it getting ready, but it's either gonna save us, or again, it's gonna push the market on down, which is gonna push Bitcoin on down. It's gonna be consolidated. I'm telling you, this is their last. They're trying to keep Bitcoin in these ranges right here inside of this weekly zone right here until we get some sort of good news, or we're finally gonna get a bad heavy news where the market's gonna get hit, and then you're gonna see Bitcoin go down here to the 86,804 and start breaking down. And what's gonna lead you is XRP. XRP is right there too. It's waiting for them. It's indicating, yes, we're gonna continue on with the dropping, or yeah, we got saved, and it's gonna start creating support right here in the zone. But it's like, it's in the Lion King. It's no Mufasa. The Lion King is hanging on, so it starts driving out. Ethereum, it's in that weekly 3 candle box zone. Oh, but it's very bullish. So if this plays out right here, this could be a nice this weekend. Oh, also this for crypto is over the weekend. So I think I get up in a trend line. Sorry for the mess. I'm gonna take it off. So this is very interesting here. Oh, there was a 3 candle box here, not as clean. But that's bullish right here. Because the 12 monthly, this is this could be the move. Not the move, but the start of the move. Sunday, there's support above it. And we candle start breaking it. Fibonacci information. And then so either this next week we could finally start breaking to this weekly trend line that it's been on. Let me show you what I mean. So right here, there's a trend line going down. Right here. Makes contact here, stretching it out. And when you go to a small time frame, we're coming up to it. And this is what we failed last time. This is a thick, we have a thick weekly resistance right here, so this is gonna be hard to pass. So this we can either we're gonna end up the market showing you guys happy and waiting for this shit, or this is gonna be our correction point because we're gonna start getting the data on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're gonna start seeing fake out with the market getting data come back down in here again. That could be happening too. I can see that happening. We're gonna get whatever Wednesday, Tuesday, and then we get that sort of bad data correction pullback, but then it stabilizes and we get come to Friday pushes back up again. Now it's sitting there back at that 3,178. The crypto momentum. This is NAD. And then when you go to gold and silver, you see how it's creating support. There's gold, forward candle, silver, forward candle, they create support. And again, this data, if we get labor data where the Fed is gonna have to get forced to cut interest rate and announce it next time, and not in before announcing it, we're gonna get in position. Investors are gonna, based on this data that we're gonna get, and if that data is good, where the Fed going to have to come in and do duty, then you will see silver maintain above $71 and continue going up. And then you're gonna see gold sustain the support area right here. I'll see the dollar. There's a 12-hour candle right here, see? It's a 12-hour candle, 50 Fibonacci. As long as we maintain above that, this happens. Notice how where it goes right to the 50 Fibonacci. What a coincidence. What a coinkydink. So we're gonna maintain here, and that's the data. Yup, and my indicator, see? As long as we maintain above this, it's still bullish. And if we do come down, it's gonna be our next cushion here. And again, buyers are gonna start buying here because of discount. And then if we do go down, I believe we're gonna form a head and shoulders. Here's your shoulder, your head. We're gonna go down, bullish in the regions, come up to it again, either break it, fail it, close below it, come back down, so to get figure out and maintain in this range here. Above 3,954 for the next month or so. But we're not gonna fall below that easily in the next month. Easily. And then right here, the fact that we have a monthly Fibonacci, monthly or weekly, right here, which is where we closed 12 monthly Fibonacci. So that's very important. That's gonna be a strong resistance and support. box also. And this one starts right now, right? Yeah, so sheesh, this is another fucking nice setup. If the dollar fucking tell me right here that in the next 3 months it's gonna get printed and we're gonna fucking pull back and you're gonna see fucking silver and gold. 3 candle box strategy right here, red, green, red. Or this is a reversal, and you're gonna start seeing gold and silver start consolidating, breaking, dropping, breaking. Yup. Cause it all lines up. Yeah, this weekly trend line right, monthly trend line right here. There's your monthly. Starts here, stops here, stop there. And then we have a monthly one. It's all the way down here. Connection. Connection. And then the next 3 months we're having a 3 candle Fibonacci in that area. I mean, not 6 monthly. So that means in the next 6 months, it's gonna be a good fucking setup. And we're gonna hold here, and you're gonna start seeing possibly you're gonna see the bitch and it fucking shoot up like crazy. Ooh. Jewish. What am I doing? And then pay attention because we have a nice 3 candle box coming in. If it plays out how I think it is, if not, it's gonna cancel. But still, something to pay attention to. Also this week, how we closing. Oh, first of all, yeah. So this week we close Friday, but it's not. Yeah, because it ends in 15 minutes, so we close. There's gonna be another fucking 3 candle box of red, green, and then next week. Oh my gosh, yeah, next week, because we got the data coming out, and if it's what we want to hear, these will be these are what the banks and are gonna start positioning themselves through the fucking week. And as it comes out, yup, or it's gonna fucking be a reversal and pull back. And yup. She got the dog. Yup. She got the. And then right here too, we have a 3 candle box right here. This is gonna close at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. And then depending on what we have data, I'm most likely gonna close on green here, so it's gonna cancel out. I would expect the market to close on red. If it does, oh my gosh. So they have 2. You have Tuesday data. Who knows how that plays out? It's gonna be fucking interesting. But yeah, I don't see this bitch fucking going up throughout the nighttime. If anything's gonna wait for tomorrow, we're gonna close just somewhere down here. I don't see the market getting all happy and breaking up. Another warning is the NASDAQ is closing right below when the Fed opened. Another early warning before government opened. Yep. So then today also, if we close red tomorrow, this will be our first warning. Looks like a nice fucking something's fucking up with these bitches right here. This week is gonna be very important. Your Wednesday and Thursday are gonna be your very important days to know when they close, where it's at, how it's positioning. Alright, too much of this shit. Only fucking hour, no fucking views. Guess what? Just not give a fuck about that shit. Alright guys, so this is Brian Secrets. Signing out folks.